We welcome those of you who just watched the Virginia Tech Hokies advance in the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship. The decisive victory over Pittsburgh. Game 2 on the day of this first round. Duke and Louisville. Dana Boyle, Leah Secondo with you this afternoon to decide who will take on the top seed in Boston College. Exciting week around the Louisville area is this really kind of leads up, Doyle, Dana, to the upcoming Kentucky Derby and a first here in Louisville with lacrosse in the postseason. And Duke coming out with the draw and an important first possession here on the road for the Blue Devils. Continue on the play with a foul.
And we heard from Coach Teeter, Leah, earlier in the week saying how important that draw control was, not just to win the draw control, but also to get possession. And they want the strategy to be kick it away from the circle, but you got to get possession. And Duke did a really good job getting it off the ground.
Absolutely. Long rebound out there, Dana, by Sarah Desch, and that allows the Blue Devils a second chance here. Foul called on the play. The Blue Devils come in off of a very difficult loss to North Carolina, 13-12, and Louisville coming in off of a road loss to end the season against Notre Dame. Free position, and it ricochets around. Some good opportunities here, Dana, early on for the Blue Devils.
And that free position line really plagued Duke. Yes, they played probably their best game of the season against North Carolina, but they went 2 for 4 from the free position line. When you get the opportunity to get on the 8-meter, you have to nail that shot. And Maddie Jenner is probably one of the best to do it at the 8-meter. But they get the opportunity, they get the possession back, which is a huge win. They just need to score.
Desch taking one in the belly there. Another rebound out. Possession for Duke. Blue Devils trying to work off a screen. Fourth save. Keeps bouncing in the wrong direction, though.
You've got to get that off the keeper. I mean, great job by Sarah Desch. She has played unbelievable in the later part of the season.
Lexi Schmalz with the goal there, and the Blue Devils on the board.
Lexi Schmalz, in my opinion, has really sort of gone nuclear for this Duke team. She just puts the team on her back and goes to cage so hard. Really intense player, knows for the goal. That was a few ricochets off Sarah Desch, so you need to capitalize on that. I think scoring first for Duke is probably in their benefit. They've had some slower starts that have plagued them. They've had to come from behind. So starting first, starting fast is the right move for Duke.
And Dana, what a year that Lexi has had. Really, her output offensively, as we see Kirsten Kimmel's resume, the 5-time ACC Coach of the Year. Those 300-plus wins at 339 right now.
And Kimmel gave Lexi good minutes last year, but I think she's really come alive this year because Duke needed midfielders, and she can use her size as advantage. I've been really impressed with her progress.
Scott Teeter told us earlier in the week he would be happy against Maddie Jenner, winning 50% of the draws. His team is now 0 for 2. Schmalz has room to race in.
I love this. I love Maddie Jenner high at the 16. She did a phenomenal job against UNC taking long 1v1s, but her teammates need to clear out for her, so she has the ability for those alley dodge, but it added a different flair to the Duke offense. She is not just a post player, people.
Right. And you know, a little bit of confidence there coming off that UNC game, too. You saw it firsthand. Blue Devils on the double team. Nice job once again by Adesh, but it bounces up in the air. And the Cardinals will have possession.
I'm okay with that offensive shot by Eva Greco. I just wish she took one more step to give herself just a little bit of an angle. You could see Sarah Adesh hugging that pipe. Really well done.
Nakazawa with the pass up to her sister Kokoro, trying to work off a double team. Back to Negai. It's a great little tandem that Louisville has created with Negai coming in this year.
There's so many sisters in lacrosse. It's so fun to watch. And Negai's really added to Kokoro's level of comfort, made her a little bit more confident playing alongside of her. It's been fun to watch them both grow.
Absolutely. Negai actually had her first hat trick against Duke in the 14-13 game. Turnover. Blue Devils with some room to move. Hyman gives it up. And Biscardi also giving it up. No numbers, so the Blue Devils will wait. Schmalz changes hands, a quick release and a foul underneath. Eva Greco.
It's a really heads-up play by Lexi Schmalz, Leah. She's so hard to guard because you don't really know what she's going to do. Yes, she's a threat to score, but she also is a threat to pass. Looks like it's just an extension of the arms by the Louisville defense.
Greco from a great spot, and up over the top. It's 2-0. Blue Devils.
Scored by number 9, Eva Greco.
Great job, just one step and a rip. I do want to give credit to Veronica Hyman, who is a beast in transition. Oftentimes she doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but she was responsible for getting that ball from the D end to the O end. She runs like a gazelle. She gets the 50-50 balls in the 30s, and she's oftentimes responsible for giving the offense some juice, and you can see it there with the free position. It went from Lexi Schmalz to Eva Greco. Really well done.
Duke now 1 for 2 on the free positions, and Kirsten Kimmel and her team get set to go back in the draw circle. This is really, you know, we talk about different chapters of the season, right, Dana? And for Duke, this has been an extremely uncharacteristic year, especially with the players that they have back. But gotta love chapter 3 of the season. It allows you to start 0-0.
It really is, and I think Duke had big expectations coming into the season, and they really haven't met them. And Kirsten Kimmel has been pretty honest with us about that. But now you have an opportunity. It's a whole new season in the ACC Championship. What can you do now to set yourself up for success? And both Louisville and Duke, their backs are against the wall. They need to win, not just to advance, but to survive if they want to play in the NCAA postseason, because they are both under 500 with their records.
Blue Devils 3-0 on the draws. They have consumed the clock since the onset. Being patient, off of the double team, ball comes into a crowd, and the turnover. Long outlet pass by Adesh. Here comes Hannah Morris. Morris has scored in 12 of the last 14 games. Nice job, Dana, being ridden off the play.
She saved that. Louisville hasn't been great in the clear, and I'm holding my breath as the ball goes in the air. It's like a rainbow of a pass. But when you get a gift like that in cage as a save, you've got to handle the ball. And that's not just on Adesh, that's on the defenders to commit to the ball and show to the ball and give the goalkeeper some help to successfully clear it. It's not just on the goalkeeper.
Hannah Morris unable to control that ball and may have twisted up her ankle. We'll keep an eye as the team regroups back on the defensive side of the field. Duke trying to work quickly here. They're really crowding that space inside the 8.
I'm sure they watched that tape with UNC and Duke playing. They sent a lot of cutters in that 8-meter. So well done with the defensive adjustment. Teeter's always the defensive mastermind. He always has different types of sets and plays he's throwing in. He keeps them all under his bucket hat.
He does. He does. Turnover. Let's see if the Cardinals can mount. There's Hannah Morris, who has left the field for a moment.
We hope she can get back in. She is such a constant for this squad. Absolutely. Yes, does it on the offensive end, but she is another juice player along with Peroni that allows a lot of leadership to happen on that offensive end. She keeps the trains on the track.
5 different stat categories all time for Louisville. And a turnover. Maddie Johnson with some room to move. Look out. Maddie Jenner brings it in! And Jenner with the goal, and it's 3-0 Blue Devils.
Goal scored by Duke, number 14.
I'm telling you, Leah, when she is in a fast break, watch out. Maddie Jenner coming in hot. She is not just the draw queen, people.
This ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship is presented by Ally. Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. For 6 seasons, Scott Teeter has roamed the sidelines, the former head coach at Canisius, looking for his first ACC tournament win. And why not do it at home for the first time in program history as we go to the 10-team format, Dana? An opportunity for the Cardinals to set a new tone.
He's such a good guy, always remains positive, really building this culture at Louisville. In his 6th season, Leah, like you mentioned, I love that he played ice hockey in college. You can see some of that formality on the field, the way he moves around his defenses, the way he's running his offense, constant movement. Really great guy to get to know, and all of his players love him, love playing for him. He's got a great dynamic.
Also a big part of the national team program for Team Canada. They were at the Sixes this year at the World Games in Birmingham, coming home with the gold medal. 3-0 Blue Devils. Leah Secondo and Dana Boyle and our entire crew, happy to have you with us here on this Sunday afternoon. The winner will take on the top seed Boston College in the quarterfinals. 4 games on Wednesday coming up. All of those games will be on the ACC network.
That's going to be a foul. Just the extension of the arms. Maddie Johnston. They call her Johnny. She's going to sit for 2 minutes. That's a yellow card. It is releasable on a score, but not how you want to start the first quarter when you're up by 3 goals. Sometimes you think of it as like an emotional foul, Leah. Just the severity of the game. It matters a lot on the line.
Let's see, the last 2 times down the field, or actually last 3, the Cardinals have turned over the ball. We'll see how they come out of the timeout, now with a player up.
And that was their first draw control win for Louisville, Leah, so they haven't had possession for an extended period of time.
The guy picks it up and puts it home. And the answer, stopping a 3-goal run.
Louisville goal scored by number 77.
A little bit of a scrum, kind of a garbage goal. Great job by Negai, just picking it up, turning around. Doesn't really even change the levels of her stick, but it doesn't matter. The goalie can't really see it. You can see Sophia LaRose moving in the cage. Really well done. Louisville needed that goal big time.
Absolutely. And for Negai, her 14th of the season. Dana, the connection with Negai and Kokoro. Kokoro already with 1 season under her belt. and just the way that the two have adapted. You think about just coming into our country, getting adapted to school, getting adapted to the American game. It's not easy.
It's been incredible. No, it's not easy. And I think that they've made such a home at Louisville. I remember speaking to Coach Teeter last season, and he said that Kokoro actually stayed over winter break and took some classes. So she's feeling more comfortable at Louisville, and it's great to have her sister. I can't imagine going to school with my sister. That would be really fun, and I'm sure we would get in plenty of fights, as many sisters do. But they've found their passion on the lacrosse field, and it's been really fun to watch. And you can tell that they're more comfortable because they start chirping at Coach Teeter. They actually played a joke on him that they had a third sister, and he was ready to go try and find her and recruit her. So it's good to see.
Having some fun. This is the sixth time, as Maddie Jenner runs through, sixth time that Louisville has had the Sister Act as part of the program. Here's Jenner. Good defense as the Cardinals trying to work on their slides. Really protecting nicely. And it's interesting, Dana, coming out a little bit further defensively to mark.
And that was an adjustment that Coach Teeter talked to us about this week. He said, we want to try and pressure behind at X to stop them from taking a crease dodge and force them to go up high.
Wow, how about Lexi Schmalz right over the top of the crown of the hat of Sarah Desch to answer. Second goal of the game.
However, Leo, when you do pressure out high, you leave a lot of space to graze in that 8-meter. And Lexi Schmalz, she has a nose for the goal. Love it. Right to left, not a great angle, but she shoots with such power. Really well done.
Might have had a little bit of a height advantage as well.
Yeah.
Kind of hopped up over the top. We like that. We like that. Her 29th of the season. 4-1 here in the first. There's number 14 in blue, Maddie Jenner, leading the way with 9.6 draws per game. That's number 1 in D1.
Whew. So selfless as a player. You try to get her to talk about herself, and she automatically deflects, talks about her teammates. And I want to shake her and be like, you are really good at the draw circle. But really good human being. Loves her team, loves Duke, and is just really diversified her game, I would say, in the last few years. Worked really hard in the offseason, getting some different looks. You see her post up in the 8-meter. She's not just a draw taker.
And she runs through that lane. She's got that big first step. See if he takes advantage of her here. Changes up with the hands, gets the foul called. How about that?
She's 6'2", so like you said, she gets the step. It's so hard for someone who's 5'7", 5'8" to be able to track that. And her stick is higher than most, so it's like a long stick midi in men's lacrosse. You can't see where that ball's coming out.
Take their time and work it around here.
Good decision.
Dana, you've seen Duke a few times this year. This start, as Jenner goes low, nice save by Adesh. This start, how does that compare to some of the other starts that you've seen for them this season?
I would say this is one of their strongest. I think that UNC game on Thursday was by far their best game that they've played. And it doesn't always mean a fast start doesn't mean scoring first. It just means intensity-wise, and they're matching that intensity that I saw in the UNC game. And they sort of had the mentality of, we don't really have anything to lose playing UNC, but we have everything to gain. And I think when you operate from that standpoint, you've got a little bit more confidence.
Blue Devils picked 4th in the preseason. It has been a crazy ride for the Blue Devils. They finished 9th this year. And you really can't count them out headed into this championship play.
Not in the ACC, and I think Kirsten Kimmel was very honest about the expectations coming into this season, and you can see that they were number 4 in the preseason polls, which don't really matter once you get into play, but they have their entire opportunity in front of them for a new season.
Absolutely. Ooh, big check there. My goodness. Right to the throat area, no doubt about it, as Maggie Foster will leave with a yellow card.
That's 2 minutes. Foster.
And that is not someone that you want to see go to the sideline. She is one of their best defenders, very underrated. Nothing egregious. You can see her pat Lexi Schmalz on the back, but sometimes when you meet with force and your arms are extended, that's something the officials are going to look for. So she will sit for 2 minutes with a yellow card.
Schmalz will restart it. Just waiting for the players to get into position.
Meanwhile, we're being treated to some rave music, which I love.
Blue Devils was not afraid to skip that pass. Plenty of time here.
I like that look too, Leah. It forces the defense to have to completely change their level, change their head, and oftentimes when you can get the defense to flip their head and you see the back of their ponytail, is how my dad always used to tell us. When you see the back of the ponytail, you can either drive or you can kick cross crease, and that's exactly what they did. They just couldn't capitalize on it.
I hate to tell you, it was pigtails back in my day, okay? So
don't date yourself, Leah. You're cool,
exactly.
Okay? We're wearing the same shirt. We didn't even plan it.
Yeah. No, we have our team uniforms on today. Is Louisville trying to come out of it here. Scooped up. Veronica Hyman has made a couple of key plays, breaking up passes, coming out of it there for the second time.
And she's a player that you won't see in the stat sheet.
No.
But she does so much tough work in between the 30s, so gritty, not very big, but she runs like a gazelle, has wheels, doesn't get tired.
Another 30 seconds on the player up for Duke as Hyman pulls it back out for a second. Jenner working over the top of a double screen. And a break, the Blue Devils will get it back. 12 seconds. Clock continuing to run. Hyman with some space. Jenner, they make the extra pass. And one pass too much.
That's a good point, Leah. Sometimes those small passes in the 12 just don't really work out. They look like they might, but you have a lot of crowded players with defenders. Sometimes it's just easier to take that for yourself or pull it back out.
Duke is assisted on 50% of their goals this year. So we're back to even strength. Cardinals with the ball. Hannah Morris back out on the field for this attack. Here's Kokoro working off of Morris. She's got a, she had a space for a flash. Gives it up. And the save by Sophia LaRose.
The previous play is under review.
Julia Schwaznik being taken off the field. See if we could pick it up here, Dana.
of what a student athlete means. So it's good to see her on the field here for Duke.
Not enough evidence to overturn the call, so we continue on. That is tough. We'll see what happens here, because this could be one of those times, Dana, where you say that was the momentum changer in a
no
game.
doubt.
Cardinals in much of a need of a big stop here to make that last call be forgettable. And Adesh coming up big once again. 7th save now in just this first quarter of play.
I am so impressed with her. I mean, that is so difficult. It was a bounce. That's hard to track that. A bounce shot goes in many different angles. She played lights out in their last meeting. 17 saves, tied her career high, and a big momentum change in that third quarter. Duke could not buy a shot, and Sarah Adesh was the reason why.
Sarah Adesh, really, truly, this is her 2nd consecutive year as the key goalkeeper for, they call her GK1. And really been a difference maker in the top 10 in both saves and save percentage. Do the Cardinals have one last run? Morris with the ball running in. And a solid finish. Hannah Morris back out on the field, making her mark. 4-2.
By number 4, Hannah Morris, unassisted.
Hannah Morris, she loves that left wing. True lefty. So hard for a keeper to save. Sophia LaRoche, she's a righty. Hannah Morris presents a different angle, being a left-hand shooter. And she is really the heart and soul of this team. Such a staple for the offense. I love that she made the decision really early last season to come back to Louisville. That's how much she loves this program, believes in the program and what Coach Teeter is building.
Morris in the record book in 5 different stat categories, leaving her mark and trying to will her team back into this game with 10.8 seconds to go in the first quarter. Blue Devils out shooting Louisville 13-3. However, Louisville 50% in their last 4 shots. One last run for Maddie Jenner. We'll see.
Too easy on that draw control pickup.
And they will not get the shot off. That will end the first quarter of play. Well, in case you missed it last night, that's Thunder over Louisville, which is the start of the celebration leading up to the Kentucky Derby. What a celebration. I happened to run into the Louisville crew team in the airport last night, and they were dying to get on the plane hoping that they would catch this, Dana. Can you imagine the celebration starting with the fireworks like that on the Ohio River last night?
Oh, I'm sure it's incredible. We both haven't been to the Derby, so maybe next year, Leah, we make it happen.
Well, Virginia Tech is trying to get and make it through this Derby, the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship. They advanced in game 1 of the day, 18-6 over Pitt. So they will take on the 2 seed, part of a 4-game program on Wednesday in that second round. Duke and Louisville, well, the winner of this game will take on Boston College. First game of the day, the top seed, Boston College Eagles, 11 a.m. Eastern time. All 4 games will be in Charlotte, and all 4 games will be on the ACC network.
It's going to be so fun. That Virginia Tech game, Ella Rishko is a freshman for Virginia Tech. 7 goals. She set a record for most goals by a Hokie in an ACC tournament. She is 19 years old, folks, getting it done in a Hokie jersey.
It's, you know, and it's great to see, isn't it, the Hokie program making a turn here and really being competitive in ACC play and throughout the country.
And it's Kristen Skyra's 2nd year, and she's done incredible things, is establishing a culture. Her and her staff are excellent. We've both had a chance to talk to them. Just something special is going on in Blacksburg. I'm excited to watch that team continue to grow.
Absolutely, and Maddie Jenner now winning 7 of the last 8 draws. 7th turnover, though, by Duke, something that Kirsten Kimmel's team will certainly want to close that gap on as we progress along here.
It's just really hard to find momentum when you keep turning the ball over. There's no flow to the game, whether it's offense, defense, in the midfield.
Well, both of these teams have really good starts. The problem is what transpires in the 3rd and 4th quarters. And today, the 3rd and 4th quarter is so important because really, after tomorrow, one of these teams will be heading to the locker room to pack things up for one final time. So,
just really inconsistent. Inconsistent. A tale of 2 different halves. And I think you see that play out in their season with some of the 1-goal losses that both of these programs have. Again, the turnovers cause you from having momentum, and so do some of those 1-goal losses. Just really difficult to find a rhythm. What is your identity on the offense?
The guy with the flip is the Cardinals trying to work the weave a little bit here. Peroni with some space. Oh, and a nice job as she lets it rip. Bounces off LaRose.
I like the weave, Leah, but I want to see them just do it a little bit off the 8. It's a little bit hard to find the spacing. There's so many blue jerseys.
Oh, look at that pretty, the sister tandem. And the guy finishes the assist to Kokoro.
I guess they don't need the space. Less is more.
Goal scored by number 77, Negai Nakazawa.
You can see the miscommunication in the Blue Devil defense. Really nice job. She's a threat to drive. That is what causes the breakdown in the defense. And then her sister, a little behind the back, Negai. Really nice job, Kokoro to Negai. Again, we talked about the comfort level that you've seen Kokoro have with her sister on the field. And the guy's just a freshman. Very well done.
Smiles there as the sister tandem works. The guy, her 2nd of the day. And suddenly it's a 1-goal game.
That's a good call by the officials. Your foot cannot go over that restraining line. It's a violation on Louisville. It'll be Duke ball.
Carrie Neese into the game for the Blue Devils. 41 in blue up towards the top. There's Neese. Trying to work off DeSimone. Here's Jenner. Nice job being pushed out there, Dana, by Peroni.
They've adjusted a little bit to that long 1v1 alley dodge.
Three seconds. Duke has been held scoreless here the last 9 minutes. And Louisville taking advantage of their opportunities. 3 for 6 shooting in this game. Schmalz trying to release off of that double team.
Just a little crowded offensively. The difference between this game so far and the UNC game is that every single player was a threat. And you can see them a little bit timid. Like Maddie Jenner, yes, took that to cage, but did she really want it? Judging by her body language, wasn't sure.
Well, the second chance opportunity working well for the Blue Devils, being relentless and quickly getting into their offense, Dana, to go back up by 2.
And the respect that Maddie Jenner demands allows players like Caroline DeBillis to get open. I thought she played outstanding in that UNC game. Yes, she sort of is that conductor at X, but she can also take it around the crease, and teams have to respect her as a defensive threat because she can pass and she can score.
DeBillis' 19th of the year, after being held scoreless for a little bit over 9 minutes of play. DeBillis had 2 goals in the last meeting 8 days ago against the Cardinals. So we'll see if Caroline is the one that spurs this Blue Devil team back to dominance. They dominated realistically the first 8 minutes of play in that first quarter.
And the biggest thing, Leah, when I look back to the UNC game is that they didn't have scoring droughts like we're seeing here. 9 minutes before Caroline DeBillis scored that goal, they were answering. Every time UNC would score, Duke would score, or they'd get a cause turnover, and that was the difference maker. You have to match and cap that momentum.
Turnover after winning their 9th draw. Good recovery by Duke. Cardinals trying to get some numbers in.
And Peroni's been quiet, Leah.
She has. Now, granted, she's working both ends of the field.
But usually that doesn't faze her.
No. I think she may have heard you here. His arm is up for the foul call.
It just seems like when she is finding the back of the net, everything sort of comes together for the Louisville offense. They jump on her back. She's that momentum.
She carries the load and lets it rip there. 5-4 game, Nicole Peroni.
It'll be interesting to see if this goal is the momentum that Louisville needs. Just a really hard 2 steps down to cage and a rip. So hard for Sophia LaRose, who is a very good goalkeeper, to track and try and save that.
9 goals now in the last 4 games for Nicole Peroni. Quite the resume. And that streak is intact, Dana.
She pretty much leads the team in every single category. Points, goals, ground balls, cause turnovers. She just does it all.
36 straight games with a goal. It's a program record. And the lead is back to 1 for Duke. Maddie McKee and Jenner, it's a great tight shot there of what those athletes are trying to accomplish right now.
And they match up very well height-wise. They're both around 6'1", 6'2". Not something Maddie Jenner is used to facing, and Maddie McKee for that matter.
Maddie McKee comes in with 74 draw controls on the season. That's not a shabby mark either, but tall task today against Maddie Jenner, who has now won 10 of the last 11.
I would say when comparing the two of them, Maddie Jenner is just a little bit more advanced after the draw. She has the ability to win it to herself, but then she knows what to do with it right off the bat, almost like an instinct.
Blue Devils trying to be patient here, looking for a cutter. Good tight marking by the Cardinals. Clearing space here. Schmalz has to roll it back out.
And great defensive recovery by Louisville, sending that hedge, recognizing that Lexi Schmalz was going to take that 1v1.
Nice job to open up for the cutter there in Heidman, and a dash point blank with the save.
Really nice look on cage by Heineman, but just change your levels just a little bit. It's so hard when you're in front of the goalie. You're so open. You just have to make that quick adjustment.
Is he cycling on the attack here, 99? Morris being really ridden off the play.
I like the pursuit, the double pursuit.
You have to pick and choose when you do it, right, though? I mean, you can't be doing that all the time.
It's exhausting, too, because then you have to retreat and go back to team defense because you're so out of the play.
Cycle releases, LaRose with the easy save and the flip.
And that's something that Kirsten Kimmel, Nick Williams, who's the defensive coordinator for Duke, they want to make the shots able to be saved by Sophia LaRose. So make it easy for her to make a save, and that requires you to play tough 1v1 defense and team defense.
And a card on that outlet.
Yellow card's been issued to Louisville's number 2, Alexa Stephens.
And so Stephens will have a seat on a yellow card here off the foul. So pick it up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right in front of the officials. You ain't getting away with that. That is an extension of the arms. Again, it's so difficult. I understand, as being a former player, you want to get the ball back, but really positioning is of the utmost importance. It's like in basketball. You reach to try and get that ball away, and they can blow by you. Same thing in lacrosse. You can't extend the arms. Just play with your body and play with your feet, and match stick to stick, and there's a chance the ball could fall out, or you could have a teammate come and help D and get the ball away. But the officials are looking for that. Anytime there's an extension of the arms, that is a safety call.
Greco was open for a flash. Jenner's wide open right now, but hey, why not? Let's keep it. Katie DeSimone getting her name into the scoring column. First of the game for DeSimone.
Love to see Katie DeSimone getting involved. She is that leader on offense. They needed that score. Nice little goal line extended rip.
Duke Blue Devils with so many threats. Katie DeSimone, 26th in the nation, Dana, in points to give her Blue Devils a 2-goal lead right now.
She is a phenomenal player for Duke, really just a leader on the field. It's nice to see her getting involved in the stat sheet. She was dealing with an illness earlier in the week. She did not score in that UNC game, sort of getting back. She was on the field, but she does so much off-ball that in that UNC game, yes, she didn't have any points, but because she did so much off-ball, teams defensively respect her, and she is a threat, so she was able to facilitate a lot. So it's good to see her getting on the stat sheet like we are so accustomed to seeing. It was 80 degrees in that UNC game, so a little bit different temperature here in Louisville, but she seems to be back to her healthy self.
50 degrees and a slight wind at game time, and Katie DeSimone in the top 20 for the Blue Devils in goals and assists all time. Came into the game with 183 points in her career, and Duke up 6-4 with 6:55 here to go in the second. Ball bouncing the proper way for the Blue Devils, and a hard check on the backside there by Peroni.
Really nice ground ball pickup by number 24, Cubby Biscardi. I found out last week when I was at Duke calling the UNC game that her real name is Christina. It is not listed in the game notes. I had no idea that her real name was Christina, but everyone calls her Cubby. But I thought that was interesting. I'm like, I've been calling you Cubby for 5 years and I never knew your real name.
Well, Cubby
I'm like,
is
who's
a key part
Christina?
of that defense, right? She's 5th in the nation and caused turnovers per game, and a solid part of that veteran defense that has come back this season for the Duke Blue Devils.
Her instincts are really next to none, Leah. So phenomenal on the D end.
Last 2 times, Louisville has really stepped up their defense and forced this shot clock into a late situation. Blue Devils have to worry. And they get the call. 2 seconds left on the shot clock, they get the call.
That is very lucky. Duke is sort of hurting themselves in the offensive set. They're clogging the middle just a little bit too much. I'd like to see players cleared through so Katie Keller can actually take a 1v1 dodge. I think that's what they were trying to set up, but she's outside of the critical scoring area. Maybe not enough time for a pass and a shot. That's a good decision. Throw it as far away.
We're going to have a card on the play. This will give Louisville an opportunity here as Katie DeSimone steps off. Well, Friday night at 6 Eastern, number 5 Florida State and Notre Dame open up a 3-game series in South Bend in softball. The first game of the softball-baseball doubleheader right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app.
You can see Kirsten Kimmel on the sidelines exchanging some words with Katie DeSimone. That was an unnecessary yellow card. Just play defense. Just body her up, match stick to stick. You do not want to give Louisville any extra juice.
No, not at all, not at this time. And they get the call here. Hannah Morris ready to sling it left side. Second goal of the day for Hannah Morris.
And Leah, that's a repercussion of a frustration foul, which led to a yellow card. You're giving Louisville the momentum. You do not want the ball to be in Hannah Morris' stick, especially when she has her left hand up on the right side of the field. Amazing job with the bounce, places it perfectly. Such power behind her shot. That's a big, big goal for Louisville. And they're 2 for 2 on their free position shots. That matters. You look at some of the box scores that have been close, like Duke's last time out with UNC. Had they made some of their free position shots, they were 2 for 4, the game might have gone their way.
Hannah Morris now, too, she's really started to rev it up here as the season has progressed. The last 3 games now, 8 goals. 4 of those on free position. And her shooting on goal now during that span at roughly 70%.
You're right, Leah. She was a little quiet in the beginning of the season, and you have to wonder, was it adjusting to new faces on the offense, having a different defensive keeper? There's a lot of different reasons, but it's good to see her putting up the numbers we're so accustomed to.
And how about this? Out of the draw. Cardinals making a run. Kokoro handles the high sticks. Here's Negai. Nakazawa with already 2 goals on the day, as does Hannah Morris, trying to wheel herself in. And guess what? We are tied at 6. The hat trick for Hannah Morris.
Goal scored by number 4, Hannah Morris. Unassisted.
First half hat trick for Hannah Morris. The ball bobbled a little bit. She picked it up. A lefty, you're just different. You're just built different when you have your left hand up. Natural lefty, just a beautiful job. You present a different look for a goalkeeper in cage. Sophia LaRose, you can see frustrated when the ball went in the back of the net. So hard to track when she's coming off that edge. Big smiles on the field for Hannah Morris. 3 goals on 3 shots. Not bad.
Much improved. While Duke is winning in the draw department decisively, 11-2. Cardinals have worked their way back into this game, tied at 6 with 3:47 to go till half.
And we talk about that a lot, Leah. That's how the draw statistic can sort of be misleading at times. Yes, you can win the draw battle, but are you winning the possession battle? And if you're winning the possession battle, are you scoring off of the possessions? So it's a little bit tricky. Multi-layer.
Jay Alter and Shannon Stanwood Birch were talking about that in the Virginia Tech Pitt game. Same type of a scenario. How about this? Second consecutive opportunity. You see the foul called there.
And you don't usually see the ball go so far and away from Maddie Jenner, but you have to wonder. Maddie McKee is 6'1", so matches up really well height-wise with Maddie Jenner. It could be presenting some problems. I really like that matchup. It's not often the both of them face someone that looks like them, same size as them.
Negai being ridden off the mark there. Has some space, looking. I feel the tempo of this attack, Dana, playing a little bit quicker.
Some juice. They got some juice.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you win the draw.
Juice.
Maybe too much juice on that play.
Hannah Morris is going to have a golden opportunity to give Louisville its first lead of the game. Whew. Three consecutive goals by Hannah Morris, her 4th of the day. Drop it. 7-6, Louisville.
Do not count the cards out. I think a big part of this is that Louisville has only had 1 turnover this quarter. They had 6 in the first quarter, and it allows your offense to find some rhythm. When you have more time on the offensive end, you said it, Leah, they're working the ball around, they have a little bit more juice. Well, juice leads to goals. Really well done on the free position by Hannah Morris.
Way to make it count are the Cardinals right now, and all smiles for Hannah Morris. Her teammates dropping the 4 down, 3 for 3 on the free positions. And why not be all smiles? First lead of the day. You only have to lead at the buzzer. That's the only thing that matters right now, right?
And both of these teams we've seen play 2 very different halves. Yes. Sometimes very different quarters. You don't even recognize the team, so it's all about how you finish. And that 4th quarter will be really pivotal, Leah.
A big run in here for the Blue Devils. Let's see if they go at it quickly or if they'll set things up. Maddie Shearer, number 3 in the game for Duke, flashing through the 8.
So you can hear the official goal circle violation.
Clock was continuing to run there, Dana. They lost about 10 seconds on that scenario. Giving it up to Jenner. Trying to work off Peroni. Pushed off the play. Jenner trying to flash through a screen, and she does, working it. Nicely done, working off of that screen off of Greco, and we're tied back at 7.
Goal scored by number 14, Maddie Jenner. Assist from number 2, Caroline Isabella.
That's the offense that I saw in that UNC game that worked so well. They're playing with each other. You can see it. DeBillis is a legit threat to take it to Cage herself, but Maddie Jenner, with coming off the screen, Leah, like you mentioned, how do you match that stick? It's so difficult because it's so high up in the air, and you don't know that release point. I said it in the first quarter. It's like a long stick midi. Where's the ball going to come out? It's so hard for a goalkeeper to track because she is 6'2". Really nice job.
What's even more impressive, too, with Maddie Jenner is the fact that, we talked about so many players here taking advantage of that 5th year or the extra year. Jenner has over 100 points and 100 goals. That in itself is extremely impressive.
It's difficult to see a player that's that balanced in the stat line. And I would say that in the last 2 years, Maddie Jenner has really diversified her game and has worked hard in the offseason. She's worked with a specialist at the draw, but also ways that she can diversify her game on the offensive end and be an actual threat. Because when she started at Duke, she really was just taking the draw. And it's nice to see her posting up, taking long 1v1. She plays behind the cage now, and it's made her a dual threat player.
7-all. 1:27 to go here in the second quarter of play. The winner will take on Boston College, the top seed on Wednesday, to start the quarterfinals in Charlotte. 4 games that you'll be able to see on the ACC network. Negai has some space. And a whistle here. Have about 50.7 seconds to go.
Timeout 2. This is their first timeout of regulation play.
Kirsten Kimmel wanting to draw something up with under a minute to go in this game. Hannah Morris has been the spark to this Blue Devil comeback. 3 unanswered goals, all 3 of the 4 in the day by Hannah Morris.
She has really come alive. We talked about maybe her slow start stat-wise that we're not really accustomed to seeing. Well, now we're seeing it. Great job coming off screens, diversifying the way in which she scores off the 8-meter. She has such a hard shot, and she's a lefty, so she's presenting a different look and a different angle to Sophia LaRose, who's a right-hand goalkeeper.
4 for 4 shooting on the day by Hannah Morris. This is the 8-9 matchup. First time that Louisville has had an opportunity to host an ACC championship game. They are looking for their first ACC tournament victory, or ACC championship victory. And their first ACC championship, Dana. Duke having won 1 ACC title. It's so difficult to do. And there's your bracket and how it's shaping up.
We were talking about for the game, Leah, we have no idea who's going to win. We may think it's going to be Boston College. We may think it's going to be Syracuse, but the ACC is such a gauntlet, which makes the ACC tournament so fun to watch. It is going to be a bloodbath out there.
This is the first time in a very long time, over 2 decades, that I can think of where we are walking into an ACC championship where we really don't know. And there's several legit teams that you can make a case for.
Right. I mean, I think before Syracuse lost to Boston College, I would have said that it's Syracuse's to lose, so to speak. And I would say that in the beginning of the season, I counted Boston College out. And look at them now, trending in the right direction when it matters the most. And then don't count UNC out either. No. Or Notre Dame or UVA. We don't know. And I would say that's the same for the postseason for NCAA. How many teams are going to get into that Final Four? It's so difficult. It depends on how you're seated, where your bracket falls.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great competition.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that at the half. So as we wind down here in the final 20s, don't go too far away at halftime, as Dana and I will look at some of the ACC news and notes and talk about the big picture a little bit. One last run here for the Blue Devils. Can they take a lead into the locker room, or will the Cardinals have a stop?
That's good defense.
Duke and Louisville, the winner will take on Boston College. This one will be decided in the second half. Welcome back to halftime of the first round game of the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship. We are knotted at 7 between the 8 seed Louisville and the 9 seed in Duke. Some of our ACC news and notes around the week and leading into this postseason of play. What a start to the week, Dana, with the Boston College-Syracuse game.
It's insanity. That game was out of control, exciting. You thought it was Syracuse, and then Boston College makes this fourth quarter surge. You could really see them clicking offensively. And then the Duke UNC, I think everybody counted Duke out in that game. They had UNC winning, but Duke made it close, played their best game of the season, Leah. And then you were out in Denver. It was snowing. A little bit different at your house in Florida now, but Denver, you can't stop them.
No, you can't stop them. This is a deep Denver squad. That was their first time on national television yesterday. They wanted to make a statement because they feel like sometimes they get left out. 8 different goal scorers by that Denver team. They're deep. They're good to make a run.
And that's what when we talk about the NCAA postseason. Is there going to be 2 ACC teams? Is there going to be 3? Right. But what about Denver? What about JMU? There's just Northwestern, Maryland, Rutgers.
Northwestern, I think, certainly made their statement yesterday, winning the Big Ten championship with that victory over Maryland. So it'll be interesting. There's another poll coming out, just how that top 5 now, with Denver being the only undefeated, Northwestern winning, Syracuse losing, how that's going to pan out as we head into tournament play and then the NCAAs. Taking a look at our first game of the day, pitting Pittsburgh against Virginia Tech. The Hokies hosting 9 unanswered goals after being tied 1-1, and the Hokies looking pretty sharp.
They came in hot. I covered Virginia Tech at the beginning of March, and talking to their head coach, Kristen Skyra, they hadn't really figured it out offensively. She was waiting for them to come alive. Well, I would say that they came alive. Ella Rischko had 7 goals. Not only did she get it done in the back of the cage, but she also is part of the draw unit with Olivia Vergano. So special. Rischko is just a freshman. I am so excited to see that matchup with Syracuse. They did not play their best lacrosse, lost 5-16, so this is a rematch for Virginia Tech, and really impressive how they've just taken strides from year 1 to year 2 under the helm of Kristen Skyra.
And how about that? Rischko with an Hokie record in ACC Championship play with those 7 goals. Much more ahead for you here on the half. Stay with us. The ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship is presented by Ally. Louisville, Kentucky, home of not only the Kentucky Derby coming up, but the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship. 7-all. Between Duke and Louisville as we get ready to start our third quarter of play. Sarah Dash, number 1, taking a few final seconds there before she heads out to the field. Dana, pretty solid to start this game. She had 4 or 5 consecutive point-blank shots. The score could be a lot different right now.
Absolutely. She has been the difference maker, I would say, in the last few games of the season for Louisville. She is small, but she plays real mighty in cage and has really given the momentum for the defense that I think they need. And then that transfers onto the offense for a player like Hannah Morris, you see here, 4 in white, who is coming alive in this game.
Well, and on the flip side, Sophia LaRose really until late into that second quarter. Really didn't see a lot of shots, right? Got to credit the defense in front of her, giving her some good looks. And this one could once again come down to some big saves down the stretch to see who will play tomorrow, or in this case, Wednesday next week. Alternating possessions. Ball will go to the Cardinals. Kokoro Nakazawa already with 1 assist in her book. Sister Negai with 2 goals on the day. Carrying it in. Looking for the dump. Oh, no foul called. Somehow Kokoro comes out with it. Doesn't reset the shot clock. The flip inside to Negai. It's a hat trick. And Louisville with the lead.
Looks to be a little injured getting up. Just to note, Duke does have a new keeper in cage, Madison Drebbing. So we told you in the first half, Sophia LaRose diagnosed with POTS syndrome, which is a blood circulation issue. So she's really moment to moment in this game. And Madison Drebbing has stepped up. Great score there by number 77, Negai Nakazawa. But Madison Drebbing's going into the game cold, Leah. Cold. Didn't play in the first half. Right. Has had to do this a lot. Credit to her. But her defense, they've got to play a little tighter in front of her. I would have liked to see them collapse, not foul Negai Nakazawa. There was no call on that foul, but play a little bit harder in front of Madison Drebbing. She's coming in cold.
The freshman from Palace Park, Illinois. Seeing plenty of time this year. This was talk about goalie world. Duke had goalie world this year to start the year. 5 different goalkeepers. That's a luxury for any team. Down to 3 now, and Drebbing making her 16th appearance on the season.
And they've really thrown her to the fire. They actually thought about redshirting her at one point. And then with some other injuries in the goalkeeping position, Kennedy Everson's out with an injury this year. They decided not to, and it's probably a good idea that they did not. But she's done a really good job coming in as relief for Sophia LaRose when she's dealing with her condition, moment by moment. Sometimes she loses vision, and she spoke very highly of Madison Drebbing and her ability to really step up as a freshman in cage.
So for the second time in this game, Louisville with the lead. Maddie Jenner and her teammates here with their second possession.
Great defense.
Schmalz, who started the scoring, unable to get that shot on goal. A lot of body contact there, especially inside the 8. Jenner trying to bounce it in.
That's not a bad look from Maddie Jenner. I would have liked to see her step down to cage just a little bit harder and maybe shoot with a little more oomph.
Trying to change that plane of the eyes. Scooping it right up like it's nobody's business is Sarah Desch.
She is so impressive.
Outlet. Look at this.
I don't love those. I don't love those long clears.
No?
They make me very nervous. And Louisville hasn't really been successful in the clear. They did not do a good job against Notre Dame in that stat area. But I said it in the first half, I think that's on the defense. And that's on the middies. You got to cut back and you got to help your keeper out in the clear. It can't just be all on her. And you can still fast break, even if you get a cut from a midi. It doesn't always have to be that long rainbow pass.
Foul right on the ball there. It's Maddie Johnston. And Maddie already has a card on the day, so hoping the officials keep their card in the pocket. Hannah Morris, she has three position goals today of her 4. And a rock solid spot here, Dana, to take a shot. See what she does against the freshman. Oh, goodness. Largest lead of the day for Louisville, up by 2.
We often talk about how the defense can give the offense some momentum. Great save by Adesh. Not so great on the clear, but Louisville figures it out. They get it to the offensive end. Oftentimes when you're on that center hash, coaches will tell you got to pick a side, which means either veer to the left, shoot to the right, or veer to the right, shoot to the left. But Hannah Morris, she's just going to step and rip from the 8-meter. Her teammates, you can't see me. Signal, I love it. That's good. They're fired up.
5th of the day for Hannah Morris, closing in on career high marks. Came into the game 2nd on the team in scoring. And now has hit the 30 mark on the year. Nicole Peroni with 37. So quite the combo there over 30, the 30-30 club.
Not bad, not bad.
Schmalz, little 1v1 situation as they overload to one side for her. Great job by the defense sliding over. Hyman's all alone and goes up over the top. May have been deflected.
I would have loved to see her score. She does so much work in between the 30s, but you said it, they overloaded the right side, but Lexi Schmalz went to the right side. She needs to go to the left side where all of her teammates are not.
Here's Lexi. Tell you what, Negai Nakazawa recovered nicely to help out on both double teams. She's gonna get the foul here, but my goodness.
She did a really good job. You could see her, she hedged to Maddie Jenner, and then she recovered because Maddie Jenner dished it to Lexi Schmalz.
Schmalz! Oh! What a rebound!
Unlucky. It hit the pipe.
Wow!
What a ricochet too, Leah. It's in the offensive end. Now Duke has it back. It's ping pong.
This is crazy.
That went so far.
That went so far.
I've never seen that.
Oh goodness. Sometimes luck is good. Sometimes it's good to have a little bit of a break. It went 50. That was crazy. Let's see what happens here again. The Blue Devils with an opportunity. Jenner with some advantage here. Nakazawa And she finishes, taking advantage. And Maddie Jenner with the ball. It's a 1-goal game.
Duke needed that big time. They have missed the last 5 shots. Maddie Jenner breaks the ankles, just a little bit of 77 Negai Nakazawa, and she goes to Kate. She's been looking for that in the third quarter a few times, but Louisville has done a good job of hedging and then recovering, but much needed score for Duke. And way to recognize that she did fall down and go around her, away from where all of her blue jersey teammates were, and away from the Louisville defense where they were stacked up on the elbow, opposite side.
The Hattie for Maddie. 9-8 game. Jenner now 3 for 9 shooting on the day.
That'll be alternate possession. I love this rule. I love it.
Me
It's
too.
like in basketball with a jump ball.
Me too. Right?
Years ago, you would have had to reset the draw because it didn't go above the shoulders. Now it's just quick, alternate possession, Louisville ball.
Agreed. Keep the game moving.
Yes, we need
For
it.
sure.
And we need to find ways to keep it moving even more. It's gotten
Absolutely.
just a little bit too long.
Louisville trying to keep things moving here. Blue Devils trying to get some numbers in correctly here, utilize this opportunity to try to tie this game back up.
I'd sort of like to see them invert the play. Louisville is just recovering so well.
Catching a break off of the errant pass. Each team with 10 turnovers on the day. Under 30 on the shot clock. I think Maddie McCorkle did enough there to get herself an opportunity.
I would agree with that. And I liked that offensive set because the ball went to X. So it went high right elbow. Then it went behind the cage with DeBillis, and then it went to McCorkle. So the defense for Louisville had to shift. Yes, they didn't get the shot off, or they didn't make the goal, but that was successful offensive set because they were moving the Louisville defense instead of just taking it one time from high.
And we're tied for the third time on the day. Maddie McCorkle, her first goal of the day.
Again, Leah, it was the ball movement that led to this free position. Maddie McCorkle, outstanding job. Had a goal against UNC. She is the difference maker here. We are tied.
Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky, home of the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship first round game between the Cardinals and Duke. The winner of this game will get the top seed, Boston College, on Wednesday to start the 4-game quarterfinals on Wednesday, all played in Charlotte. All can be seen on the ACC network.
I thought it was interesting, Leah, what Kirsten Kimmel said when we were talking about some of the 1-goal losses that they've had this season. And she said, if we had won some of those, we might not be in a very different spot than we are bracket-wise.
True.
Which was a really good point. I don't want to face Boston College in the quarterfinals, or really ever. They are clicking at the right time, trending in the right direction. That win against Syracuse was phenomenal, but really there's no easy path to the ACC Championship game.
Now, you never count out the Eagles, as they proved in their victory against Syracuse. 5 games for the Blue Devils this year, decided by 1 goal. And really, as you mentioned, really could be the difference right now for this veteran-laden team that has had everything plus the kitchen sink thrown at them this year.
That loss versus Yale, watching it back, really seemed to take the wind out of their sails. It's hard when you're losing and you're grinding day in, day out. We don't see them practice 6 days a week, and the hard work that goes into that.
Oh, Lexi Schmalz with a little shovel. And the Blue Devils take the lead.
How about that timeout, Leah? I think it worked. Just a hard nose for the cage. We've said it before. We said it in the first half. Just does such a good job evading the defense. She took that goal herself. She was going to cage. They needed a momentum swing. Really nice job. You can see the sidelines. Carrie Neese fired up. The sideline celebrations have been pretty elite. It's been pretty calm today, but I think we may see some creativity. I mean, there are girls going thrown up in the air, doing the worm, live bowling, players as pins.
Crew team,
It's pretty amazing. It's leveled up this year.
It has leveled up. It's just as much of a practice as practices sometimes. So get your best game on the sidelines, as well as the Blue Devils up here with 7:30 to go in the 3rd quarter by 1. Peroni, who has 1 goal on the day. Steffens. Tiffany Natoli looking for a cutter. No one is there. Cardinals working from X. Catalana goes low. First touch for Allegra, making it count.
It looked like to me, Leah, that Madison Drebbing didn't see that shot from Catalano. Defense was blocking her view because she reacted just a little bit late. She's got pretty quick hands, but really nice job by Allegra Catalano going left to right, switching hands, and going down to cage. Her first step around that corner was down to cage, and that oftentimes can be the difference between a save and a goal. Really nice job.
Fourth tie of the day, 12th of the season. Catalano coming on strong here as of late.
And she's been pretty consistent for Teeter's squad, Allegra Catalano, over the years. Now a senior, maybe doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but she does a really good job with those hustle plays.
Schmalz, oh, nice backside check. Believe it was Peroni on the play. Here's your favorite pass coming up is
stressful. That was a good decision. But that's on the midfield. That's on the middies. You got to cut back and help your keeper out. That's something you practice too, cutting back to your keeper, cutting back to ball.
You look stressed as a coach there with your hand on your head.
Gosh. That one was the right decision.
Things getting a little bit chippy. But the cards in the pocket, that is, remain contained.
Good decision by Maddie Jenner to settle it. It was getting a little chippy. A little bit of ping pong lacrosse.
4 different goal scorers for Duke, but not Jenner, as we have a foul called on Peroni.
I believe it was a shooting space call. Good job by Jenner to recognize, be a threat, go to cage, look like you're shooting. Ava Coyle will go behind Jenner.
Does Jenner have to be a little quicker on that, Dana, or do you like the decision? She knew what she wanted to do.
Initially, I wanted her to take it, but then I recognized the 50 seconds on the shot clock, and maybe you work for the best shot opportunity. And if you're at the 8 meter and you don't feel confident and you don't feel like you can score it, the right decision is to kick it out.
A little stutter step, change in hands.
And I don't think she liked that she didn't have her right hand up. She can shoot with both hands, but I think she feels more confident with her right hand, and she was on that left cache. And she had Peroni to her right on that hash following her.
Desh smothering it in for the save. 4 ties, 2 lead changes. 19th save of the game for Sarah Desh. And the ball goes back to the Blue Devils. They've got numbers. Greco can't hold on. Pass is errant, and it will go back to Louisville.
I still can't get over the 19 saves for Adesh. I know Coach Teeter said that they took the team out for ice cream. Well, when they go again, she deserves 4 or 5 scoops after this performance. She is playing out of her mind.
Yeah, you make a great point. It's not all about, sometimes you try to find something to change things up a little bit. And what Coach Teeter shared with us this week is, things have been going awry a little bit. Just everything's always serious all the time. And I wouldn't think of Teeter saying, hey, let's go out for ice cream, but he was the guy that made that decision to kind of change things up.
Let me tell you, when I was at UVA and Julie Meyer said that we could get dessert, we were very food motivated. We played just a little bit different when we knew we could get dessert or ice cream, or we were getting cookies after a game. I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
It seems so simple, but it does make a difference. Or swag,
Absolutely.
Get a new t-shirt or pair of shoes.
Swag's a whole
We know what we're
different thing.
motivated by.
Absolutely.
I would say that I'm still motivated by dessert.
I hear you. Turnover. As we move under 3 to go here in the third. Katie Keller is another name that you have to kind of keep an eye on. Was a big part of the plan for the Blue Devils.
She had 2 goals in that UNC game too, Leah.
Yep.
I'm not sure that they scouted her to be a difference maker, but she's a really versatile midi.
Absolutely. One of the best middies on the Blue Devils squad a year ago. Number 7 here on the attack. Here's Keller with the ball.
Nice move.
Look at this.
I'm surprised she didn't take that herself.
Yeah, DeBillis had some room to work. Quick movement. Big save. Scooped in. Saved in by Adesh. There was 9 seconds on the shot clock, so good defense there by the Cardinals.
Great defense. And again, Carly Bernstein had that beautiful roll, inside roll, but decided to dish it. I'm really shocked by that. I mean, Maddie Jenner got a good look to cage, but she just didn't change her levels, and Adesh has been able to really track that, which is difficult to do with Maddie Jenner's height.
Adesh's numbers there on your screen.
91%, Leah. Wow. She gets ice cream the rest of the season.
Under 45 to go here in the third quarter of play. Morris didn't quite get her shoulder square, goes wide. Clock continues to run. There is about a 4-second differential and a turnover. Plenty of time.
Very well done by Maddie Johnston. She scored in that UNC game. Ooh, I thought she was going to take it to Cage.
I thought so too. Keller gives it up, broken up on the play there by Izzy Cycle as she came into the scene. Quick movement, loose ball. And that'll do it for this third quarter of play. Apropos, we were tied at 7 at the half, tied at 10 to end the third. Come on back for the fourth quarter after these messages. Sarah Desch has been spectacular in goal today. 10 saves on the day for Desch.
Clearly I need glasses because I thought it was 19, and that's why I was so shocked, but it's 10. But she has played lights out, Leah.
It's still ice cream. It's still ice cream. She's all over the place, making great saves to fend off this potent Blue Devil team. And the difference maker the last time these two teams met just 8 days ago, 2 big saves down the stretch against Duke for the 14-13 victory.
And it's the first quarter. 7 in the first quarter. That really stands out to me. Both teams have struggled playing a full 60 minutes, and I think Louisville has struggled coming out with a fast start. And that doesn't necessarily mean scoring, but for Desch to really put a cap on Duke offensively, they could not find rhythm in that first quarter, and she is a big part of that.
Aside from Hannah Morris, the story is still to be told of opportunities for some of the players to come back for a 5th year. And if they do, with Desch being just a junior, this will be a solid team coming back for Louisville as well. A difference of 2 halves, Dana, for this Louisville squad this year.
And it's the third quarter that stands out to me as when the wheels really fall off. But I was impressed in their last meeting with Duke. The third quarter was actually their strongest.
Much improvement from the season, Dana, in that department. Maddie Jenner already with 3 goals on the day. (17-7) on the draws, differential.
Ooh, that is very unlucky. I'm a little surprised, Leah, that Duke isn't playing with a little bit more oomph after a really good outing against UNC. I would have thought that game maybe had them turn the corner a little bit, confidence-wise. They figured out offensively. They were finding rhythm. Defensively, they had a strong outing. Just playing a little flat.
Right. Well, and how much did that go with, you know, both teams are in the same scenario. Quick turnaround, and you're coming back to Louisville, which isn't, quote-unquote, easiest place for Duke to get into. They're running out of steam here. We will see.
But usually, like, that second season, third season really sort of invigorates you.
Absolutely.
So I am surprised. Travel is tough. That's no joke. But don't you want to beat a team that knocked you off? I would.
How much of this sentiment gets into it is Morris working free. Hand was raised for the foul call, the shot released. How much gets into play too, Dana, from what you recall? You start getting a little sentimental too. You recognize that for some of these players, this is it. This is maybe the last day I put on my uniform collegiately, and then it all goes away, right? I mean, you'll never play competitive like this again.
That's a really good point, Leah. But again, like, I would channel that as a former student athlete as, hey, we got to play for each other.
Right.
This Duke team is really old. They've got a lot of veteran leadership. It's now or never.
And will Maddie Jenner take it over here? Trying to work off the triple screen.
Wow.
Woo! That hung around the goal line. Jenner had her arms raised.
Adesh is the MVP of today. She is playing out of her mind. That hit her in the leg. She's not wearing shin guards. Not many goalies do, but I would if I was in the cage. And she's been able to really stifle Maddie Jenner and give the defense some oomph and then translate that offensively. You see Louisville playing with a little bit of a pep in their step. And you play free. You play a little bit more free when your goalkeeper is making big saves like that impact the game.
Louisville's going to take a timeout to discuss it. We are knotted up at 10. Not too far from the Louisville Lacrosse Stadium and athletic facilities, beautiful downtown, the Ohio River and the Belle of Louisville. Great way to see the sights around town, and what a start in this game, a game of runs. Duke looked phenomenal to start the game, and finally somebody woke up Louisville.
And I think it was Sarah Adesh. She said, you are not going to score on me. And the defense really rallied behind her. I don't know if I've seen this sort of fight from Louisville consistently for an entire game. So that's a really good sign as you try to make a run to the quarterfinals of the ACC Championship.
Morris with the ball as she is being swarmed right now. Peroni has 1 goal on the day, 88 in white with the ball.
And that is a good adjustment by Duke defensively.
And how about that? Kokoro with her 2nd of the day.
And a good adjustment to limit Peroni, but then you have to worry about Kokoro Nakazawa, who has had more confidence with each game. I love this. Left, keeps it in her left hand, and just goes really hard to cage. I think a lot of times Nicole Peroni takes some of that attention off of Kokoro so she can play a little bit more loose. They like to play together on that side.
Right.
That's a big momentum goal for Louisville. They take the lead.
Dana, you make a great point. Had an opportunity to see Louisville very early in the season at Virginia, and there was tentativeness on Kokoro Nakazawa's play. I'm not seeing any of that. And that's the fun part of what we do, right? You get to see how teams gel and progress, and certainly a player that has done so for the Louisville Cardinals. 11-10 now.
Remember, we covered her when she was really young in her career and was so timid. Coach Teeter said she didn't even speak. She did not talk. And now you see her developing and blossoming into this fantastic lacrosse player, coming from overseas. Now her sister joins her. Just a really good story. And their dad is huge in Japan in the soccer world. And I love that the two sisters found a different love of a game on the lacrosse field. It's really great.
For those of you expecting to see Louisville and Virginia in softball here at the top of the hour, that game is starting over on the ACC Network ESPN app. And as soon as we complete this game, we will bring it back over to you roughly in about 15, 20 minutes from now. Maybe. Will it be a day for the Cardinals, or will it be a day for the Duke Blue Devils? The winner of this game again, as Sarah Desch comes up with another big save, her 14th. We'll take on Boston College on Wednesday. Katie DeSimone has 1 goal for the day, and DeSimone brings it back out. Thought about taking it in there for a second.
That's the right decision. Settle it, work the ball around, set up a play, and really move the defense, but you got to move Sarah Desch in the cage. You've got to move her off her line, change the level of your stick.
Oh, might have gone off her foot. Blue Devils have missed their last 5 shots here.
I think what's even a bigger surprise, Leah, is that Duke has been held scoreless for the last 13 minutes. And Louisville has capitalized on that.
Absolutely much better shooting in that third quarter, and here in the fourth quarter of play. Shot clock violation. Hold on, though. There was a whistle.
I believe it's gonna be on Louisville for an extension of the arms on the guy. That's tough. You're coming around the crease at the same speed. 1 second left on the shot clock for Duke. You gotta maybe take a half a step and rip.
Tough angle. And with the way that ball has been rebounding out, you don't want to really crash it. Little movement too early.
They're gonna call false start.
Yeah.
On Peroni, so not on Bernstein. Wow.
And how about that? Bernstein ties it up at 11. 13 minutes of scoreless activity for Duke. And a second chance and a second life for the Blue Devils, tying it up at 11.
Wow, that was a gift. So a false start on Peroni gave her a second opportunity on the 8-meter. 1 second left on the shot clock, and she just ripped. She is a player for Duke that has really come alive. I remember talking to Kirsten Kimmel last year. She played a lot of scout team, and now you can see her really just blossoming. She helped the Duke defense get ready last year, but now she's making an impact on the offensive end, and she's really stepped up her game this year.
And you know, Dana, you make a great point, right? There's only enough places on the field to start for a player, but taking advantage, you got to scout of the other teams. And Carly Bernstein doing a good job there. A difficult spot on the field, tying this one up at 11.
And I remember she was preparing the Duke defense for Boston College, and she was playing Charlotte North on the scout team. So that's a huge credit if you're going to play Charlotte North in the scout team. But it's been fun to watch her confidence. So they're going to review this.
Yeah. Gives the coaches an opportunity to run through some things. What are the conversations right now, Dana?
That's really hard to tell. So it has to be, I think that's a goal. It has to be released before the shot clock goes off. So that should stand, but this is an opportunity, Leah, to your point, to get a gift of a timeout. And if you're Duke, you need the draw, you need possession, and you have to score. And you can see they're drawing up some sort of play in the huddle. Brooke Griffin, their offensive coordinator, really smart on the offensive end. Storied career at Maryland.
Without the tenths of a second there, I mean, it's
that
even
should
hard.
Stand.
It's even hard to tell exactly where the ball it is, but I
couldn't
agree
even,
with you.
Correct. So I thought the stationary ball behind the official initially in the first replay was the ball. It's really hard to tell because it gets
out.
lost in that red end line.
Yes. Yeah. Got to be inconclusive.
But I love the use of the reviews. It's experimental this year in the ACC.
Yeah.
So I thought like both of those opportunities where the goals were reviewed were really good use of that.
Right.
So the goal is going to stand. So it needs to be released from the stick. Yeah.
Seems like it's out of the pocket.
That's
no
the right
doubt
call.
about it. Yep. And at that slow range, you can actually see the velocity up
Right.
and over a dash, where she has been solid with everything in front of her and low.
But also remember too, we get to take 5, 6, 7 looks at it, whereas
Correct.
Coach Teeter and Kimmel, they don't have the option to be part of the official review. The coaches have to stay out of it. So I felt like that was the right opportunity to use a review.
5 ties, 3 lead changes, 7 different goal scorers for Duke right now. And we're not at 11, 8:43 to go. A little bit of an overload here by the Blue Devils. Trying to isolate something in for Jenner. Schmalz. Now they work the opposite side. Here comes Jenner on a flash. She'll head back. Lexi. Trying to work off Negai.
Wow. I would have continued that. Veronica Hyman had a lane. Especially with the shot clock winding down.
5 seconds.
Stud.
Save low.
That's a
Save
filthy
low.
save. She's so good. So good. I'm so impressed. Minus the clear.
Which goes back to, as you said, that long clear can be dangerous. Gets it to the Cardinals' hands, goes back to Duke. Foul on the play. And Peroni being talked to as she will pick up the card.
She's a frequent flyer of those emotional yellow cards. Just gets a little too aggressive. I think her passion gets sort of misdirected in that way. But in a game like this, you have to play tight.
First yellow card of the day for Nicole Peroni. Player up for
And that's
Duke.
Louisville. That's their 3rd yellow card, Leah. So
This
on
is
the
not
4th,
releasable. Yeah.
on the 4th one, it is not releasable. So that's something they have to really clean up and be wary of.
Trying to get Lexi Schmalz's attention up towards the top of the 12. A little late now as the defense recovers. Oh, Jenner was just out reach of her stick. Turnover, back to the Blue Devils.
And 9 out of 10 times, Maddie Jenner makes that catch.
Right. There's Schmalz. Lexi's got room. Walks in, adjusts it. Oh, and there's a foul called.
I'm a little surprised, Leah, too, that Lexi Schmalz didn't pump to signal to the
Lexi Schmalz started this scoring on the day for both squads. Has 3 already on the afternoon. Oh, right into the webbing. She's like Spider-Woman back there.
She is in full beast mode. Full beast mode. Really good job by Lexi Schmalz to get in close, but you have to adjust the level of your stick. You said it, match stick to stick. Maybe fake high, go low. It doesn't always have to be a hard shot. It can very much be a finesse. So they're going to tell Eva Greco, you got to back up a little bit. Give her some space.
How are the Cardinals looking to work this right now, being 2 down?
Well, first they needed to get it over the 30. That's going to be offsides. It should be an offsides call. Yep. There had to be some sort of miscommunication. I don't know why Negai would go back unless she thought they didn't have numbers.
Peroni's back in, so still a player up.
Because that 4th card is non-releasable. And every subsequent card after that.
Duke is 1 for 9 in the 4th quarter shooting here, much to the credit of Sarah Desch.
And Louisville really hasn't had the ball on their offensive end, Leah.
No.
They're 1 for 2.
No. For those of you expecting to see softball right now between Louisville and Virginia, it will come back upon the completion of this game, but you can catch it over on the ESPN app. But right now, the Blue Devils are up by 1 with 3:54 to go.
This is where a team can really start to run away with that 4th yellow card. Duke is a player up. Carly Bernstein, we saw her rip from the 8-meter with 1 second left on the clock. Just a sophomore, has done such a good job for this Duke squad. She's really found her rhythm this year, a lot more confidence. Her 2nd goal today. Will the momentum shift? Can Duke win the draw, win the possession, and start hitting their shots?
Still a player up here for the next 15 seconds. Certainly you have an opportunity. It's plenty of time to make a sprint downfield, see if you can get one more shot off if you're the Blue Devils. An area of the game where they have completely dominated today with Maddie Jenner against Maddie McKees in the draw circle. Scott Teeter told us they wanted to be about 50% he'd be happy with his team on the draws. 19-8 the differential right now, with Duke leading in that area as we are at full strength.
And you really haven't seen the ball go that high in the circle. They called Duke for the held stick there, so it's possession Louisville. But Maddie McKee won that pretty outright.
They get the shooting space violation. That will set up Kokoro Nakazawa from the hash.
Are you surprised? I'm a little surprised. It didn't look like she pumped or was looking to shoot.
Oh, false start.
On Duke, I believe.
Yeah, and yeah, you're absolutely right. There wasn't any type of emphatic follow through. Dana with the clock in their favor, the possession of the ball. How quickly you're going to go here?
They got about 70 seconds. I would probably hold till around 40 seconds and then maybe at 30, 35, try and set up a play. You can see Lexi Schmalz talking to Brooke Griffin, the OC, on the sidelines. They're putting some sort of play scheme in. But you run the risk if you do hold around 30-ish seconds, if you don't make the shot.
Right.
Louisville has time to also do the same on their end and potentially tie it up. That's great defense. Love Negai's hustle on the defensive end.
Timeout, Duke. This is their second timeout of regulation play.
Kirsten Kimmel looking to set something up with her team here late in the fourth quarter, keeping an eye on the solid play performances on the field. Time for Watch This, presented by Ally and Hannah Morris.
Hannah Morris has been such a force for this Louisville offense. If they needed her at any time, it is right now. Louisville trails by 1, but she's got 5 goals on 7 shots. She was quiet in the beginning of the season, but she has come alive when Louisville has needed it the most. If Louisville can get the ball on this possession after the Duke timeout, I would put the ball in her hands, Leah.
Hannah Morris with 3 of those goals that were key leading up to halftime. And her Blue Devils, or excuse me, her Cardinal team looking to try to keep this season alive. Kirsten Kimmel talking it over as far as what they want to plan to do on their attack here, with plenty of time to kind of work this clock down a little bit further.
And they tried to set something up with Lexi Schmalz really high, almost close to that 30-yard. And then I'm impressed that Louisville, Negai Nakazawa really pressured out defensively and knocked the ball out of her stick. So Louisville is not backing down.
Third game in a row, Duke has found themselves in a 1-goal game late in the game. Did the same thing you had that last game in Carolina, working on a possession late to try to tie it. Called it late timeout. Now upper hand here, up by 1 with 1. Play resumes. Jenner, look at this. Oh, falling over the top. And Adesh came out to make the save. Jenner could not keep her balance. No foul called. 11 seconds.
And they called it a goal circle violation there on Jenner.
Wow.
So no part of your feet can be in the circle. She did fall in.
I think Maddie Jenner was even surprised, Dana, that she had that much space to go. I don't think that was her first thought, was it? Do you think?
I was surprised. We saw most of this game, I would say 80% of the game, Louisville's sending that slide really early, and they just didn't slide to Maddie Jenner. Also, that swing by Peroni, she has to be careful on that. Number 88 in white. And she does fall into the crease, and the letter of the law says you are not allowed to enter the crease. It looks like, if I can read lips, that the official said that she was pushed into the crease. Either way, the ball didn't go in the back of the net.
No.
It went behind, but if they call a goal circle
seconds.
violation back, right, they can have possession.
Right.
So it looks like that call is going to stand. So it will be Louisville ball.
All right, settle in. And Coach Teeter wants to call a timeout to set something up, as Louisville has gone 10 minutes now without a goal. Ever so important.
It feels a little bit like basketball, Leah. Everyone taking their timeouts here.
We were tied at 7 at halftime. And the Cardinals came out. Nakazawa and Morris with goals. Maddie Jenner made it 9-8. Then kind of went back and forth once again. Schmalz, that was a pretty one.
It's been so back and forth, Leah. 5 ties, 4 lead changes. You can tell that this game matters to both programs for really similar reasons. Both need this win to advance, yes, into the ACC Championship, but also to keep their seasons alive. They want to play for another day, a practice for another day. They're both below 500.
Carly Bernstein with 2 goals here late. And here we sit at 12 and 11. The winner will take on Boston College on Wednesday. Virginia Tech moving on earlier today with a victory over Pitt, 18-6. They will take on the 2 seed at 4 p.m. on Wednesday in Syracuse. What do you like about Wednesday's matchup? The time off for these teams now to get some rest and prep for this next round.
Well, I think if you're Duke or Louisville, you did not play your best game against Boston College, and both coaches were very honest about that. So have the opportunity to play again. Yes, the recovery is much shorter. I would say Duke probably has it just a little bit easier. They can drive to Charlotte, but still, this is a gauntlet. Every ACC game matters, and both of these squads are below 500, so they really do probably have to win out the ACC Championship to be eligible for a postseason berth.
The winner just moments away at taking on BC in that first game on Wednesday at 11 a.m. on the ACC network. All 4 games Wednesday available on the network or the ESPN app. 1:11 to go. Cardinals with the ball. 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock.
So they're going to call a foul outside of the critical scoring area. Maddie Johnson, she was ready. She was like, I'm ready to transition. Give me the ball.
Maddie going.
Let me run.
Kokoro with the flip. Negai on the curl. Oh, it was there. Rebounds out. Nice save. And a push by Maddie Johnston.
Foul.
Johnston gonna go off here. I believe that's her second.
Yes, you are right. So 25.3 seconds. She cannot go back in the game. She is done.
Yellow card issued to Duke, number 13, Maddie Johnson.
Okay. Shot clock is off. Cardinals a player up. Teeter wants a timeout.
It's basketball, I'm telling you. I love the simulators. There really is so many in terms of like angles and footwork, but not a great opportunity or time to foul.
Whose hands do you want it in here? Where are they looking to go? Put in Morris's hands, work off Negai, the two-man game with her sister Kokoro?
My gut tells me Peroni, but Negai and Kokoro have been so hot working together. And then also Hannah Morris, which I think is a really good problem to have. But I would go the two-man game with Negai and Kokoro. I wonder if Duke is planning for Hannah Morris or Peroni to have it in their stick.
We will be heading over to Louisville and Virginia in softball upon the completion of this game, for those of you who are waiting. That
can't see her
matchup in
face,
softball?
but that is Anna Callahan doing the Dougie. I'm gonna expose her. She's got a knee brace on. She unfortunately is out for the remainder of the season, but she's the hype girl for this Duke squad. Had some time to spend with her at the practice before the UNC game, and she is all smiles. Certainly missed on this Duke team, but yep, there she is. See her? Hood up. We see you, Anna Callahan. You can't hide from us.
Will it be a season-ending opportunity gone awry for Louisville, or will Duke hold on here and move on to face Boston College? Hannah Morris is 5 for 7 shooting today. There's a spill where she went with 3 unanswered goals, 2 of those off of free positions in that scenario. And the Cardinals break the huddle, a player up right now. Season coming down to a final play, potentially.
Ooh. So I believe Coach Teeter is saying that number 22, Veronica Hyman, stepped off sides, which from reading his lips, he said that that would be intentional. I don't disagree with that.
Exactly, because Hannah Morris was probably about 2 steps from the cage, and Deming here as the lefty gets set to wind up, rips it low. Long rebound out. There might not be a potential opportunity, and there will not be.
Wow.
Duke is going to hold on and advance 12-11 over Louisville.
That was a battle. Duke needed that win. Louisville needed that win. Leah, what a game we were treated to.
Duke will take on Boston College next. Heading off now to see Louisville take on Virginia in softball. So long, everybody.